And first up, aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management have issued a 2-week ultimatum to Dr. Kwesi Nduom to pay monies owed them. The group believes the owner of the defunct fund management firm has not been open about the dealings of the firm and unfairly treated the customers. Here's more in this report from a press conference held by the group.
At a press conference, the aggrieved customers of the defunct Gold Coast Fund Management called out the global chairman of Group Nduom, Dr. Kwesi Nduom, who is on a campaign to revive the operations of his collapsed bank. They described recent utterances made by Dr. Nduom as unfortunate, shameless and cruel. They also say that he has failed to open up the books of the defunct fund management to customers. Here is Charles Nyame, convener of the aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Management Fund.
5, that the government should pay the 7.1 billion Ghana cedis to Group Nduom, and that Group Nduom will pay its customers, including those of Gold Coast Fund Management customers. We consider the above enumerated statement made by Dr. Kwesi Nduom as unfortunate, arrogant, shameless, cruel, and mischievous, and therefore entreat the general public to disregard Dr. Nduom's claim and not accord him any sympathy. This is because Dr. Nduom has been and still is the greatest beneficiary of the suffering and woes we, the victim of the financial sector cleanup exercise, poorly executed by the government of President Akufo-Addo.
The group has issued a 2-week ultimatum to Dr. Kwesi Nduom.
If indeed it is true that the actual money of clients' investment by Black Shield in the said government contractors is 500 million, then the money Dr. Nduom must account for to the customers of Black Shield would swell from 3.3 billion to 4.6 billion. In light of the questions above, we, the aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management, are giving Dr. Kwesi Nduom timeline, 2 weeks timeline, starting from today, June 17, 2024 to July 1st, 2024, for Dr. Kwesi Nduom to address the following. Excluding the validated amount, why did he deceive us for almost 6 years that the greatest quantum of client investment was invested in government infrastructure projects? Liable and subjected to government bailout package, Dr. Nduom should come out with a payment plan that would not exceed 90 days settlement plan for the 6 years of accrued interest on the 4.6 billion he has silently kept to himself.
The group also appealed to the Special Parliamentary Committee to assist in the payment of customers.
We use this occasion to appeal to the chairman of the Special Parliamentary Committee set to investigate why the delayed payment of customers of Gold Coast Fund Management, Honorable Jogati, to as soon as practicable come out with the committee's report, which we believe it will or it may encourage the government to expedite its action on our payments.
Now, government says it is now turning its attention to individual countries like China after securing an agreement with bilateral creditors on debt restructuring. Finance Ministry earlier this week announced that it had reached an agreement through the Official Creditor Committee on terms of the restructuring of Ghana's $5.4 billion debt owed bilateral creditors. However, it now has to move to finalize the terms with individual countries. Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Abnor Sayasari, says this should not be viewed as a challenge at all because of the deal reached at the Official Creditor Committee level.
Most important thing is getting that broad framework, and that is what we have achieved. That alone is going to cause the IMF to go to the board and release the next tranche of $360 million, which will also help a lot in our budget implementation. And again, like I said, now we are really focused on making sure we live within our means. We are not going beyond that. I can assure you
that's a promise
that yes, And so with that space created by the OCC's announcement, we're going to go all out and negotiate one after the other with all the OCC members. We cannot have a time limit, but the most important thing is that there's a framework. Yeah. So once there is that framework, you are assured that that framework is going to create a minimum amount of space. If you're able to negotiate with individual countries and you are able to do better than what the framework has for you, you get to increase that space. But we don't want to put any time limits. The most important thing is that that framework is there. Once that framework is there, it gives us time to engage individually with every member and to, at the end of the day, make sure that we are able to achieve our debt sustainability and as well as live by what we have agreed with the IMF.
But as we try and wrap up this interview, are you also looking forward to the other donor partners to react positively? You've spoken about the Korea support, there's an Afri-Exim support, there's a World Bank support as well coming in. What should we be looking at in terms of these other donor partners quickly coming on board? Some will say that the IMF initially said that with financial assurance they were going to the board. Now you have this agreement. It appears that within the coming days they will come out with the date for the meeting. Any response you're looking forward to in terms of the donor partners to also come on board to support the economy?
Remember, we once said that should we go through this process? Should the OCC complete the MOU? Should we finalize the MOU? It will also open the opportunity for other donor partners to also come in and then support. Already we are expecting 300 million from the World Bank DPO, the 360 million from IMF, and we're also looking at the cocoa syndicated loans, which is also bringing in some form of forex. And the completion of the MOU also paved way for certain projects that had been stalled to quickly go back for contractors to go back on site and start working. So all these things is opening these opportunities for us, including donor partners, including going back to projects that had been stalled. And so it is a positive outcome. And I want to thank the President for the support and then the Minister for Finance for his leadership. And we ask the people of Ghana to continue to support us for us to make this huge gain together.
Right, let's turn to the money market now. Interest rates tumbled once again across the yield curve as the government recorded a marginal undersubscription of treasury bills. That's according to auction results by the Bank of Ghana. The fall in the T-bill yields is in line with the easing of inflation. Here's more in this report. To one-day yield eased to 24.85% from the prior week's 25.03%. That of the 182-day also went down by 9 basis points to 26.82%. Similarly, the 182-day bill also declined to 27.81% from the earlier 27.92%. Meanwhile, the government recorded 1.35% undersubscription of the T-bill sale. It got 4.838 billion Ghana cedis as against a target of 4.9 billion cedis. A chunk of the bids came from the 91-day bill. About 3.76 billion cedis was mobilized, representing 77.9% of the total bids. The uptake was the same as the bids tendered. Similarly, 924 million Ghana cedis came from the 182-day bill. All the bids were accepted. For the 364-day bill, 142.07 million cedis of the bids were tendered and all were accepted. Now, players in the downstream petroleum sector have highlighted the effects of the depreciation of the cedi on operations. According to General Manager of MySoil Energy Company Limited, Frederick Ametepe, the continuous dip in the local currency makes it difficult for product pricing coupled with high operational costs due to the unpredictable nature of the cedi. He spoke to Joy Business at the 10th anniversary celebration of MySoil Energy Company Limited, a solely owned Ghanaian company in the sector.
Global economic uncertainty, supply chain disruptions, and the need to ensure cost-effective operations has bedeviled the petroleum downstream sector. The sector, which has been dominated by foreign players, has seen an increase in the participation of local players in recent times. One of such is MySoil Energy Company Limited, a privately owned Ghanaian company formed to provide support to the downstream petroleum sector. The company, which has been in existence for a decade, prides its utmost customer service as a reason for its existence. On the occasion of its 10th anniversary, General Manager for Mysol Energy Company Limited, Frederick Ametepe, bemoaned the effect of the depreciating cedi on the company's operations.
It's been very difficult and very challenging. It's not been very easy at all. Looking at the market in which we operate, any movement in dollar affects our business. Because at any time when we are pricing our products, you use the FX rate per time to price. If by the time you are maybe collecting your receivables, the dollar goes up, it affects. It only means that you are going to now use more cedis to chase the same amount of dollar, and that significantly affects our operations.
On ensuring sustainable operations, here is what Chief Finance Officer of the company, Martin Ohini-Enim, had to say.
We know green issues have dominated the world at this stage. So what we have done is that as part of the, we don't sell to our final consumers. It's our sister company, Nick Petroleum, who does that. So what we have done is that we have additives that we add to our product to make sure that it's environmental friendly, reduce the hydrocarbon effects of our product. So when you go to Nick Petroleum stations and you go and buy product there, you are rest assured that you are one that is considering green issues. And we're very instrumental in the tree planting activity. We sometimes donate to children homes and other privileged societies so that you can benefit from what we are doing as a people.
The 10th anniversary celebrations was marked with a solemn celebration with well wishes from the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors and other partners in the industry.
We are very excited to see Mysol Energy come this far. 10 years, it's not a joke at all.
As a bank, we're here to support you and to say a big thank you for choosing us as your partners.
We are in it together, and if you have chalked 10 years, it is a great milestone, and we wish you all the very best.
And you're watching Business Live. Still to come, industries are insisting that Ghana needs to do more despite new data suggesting strong pickup in exports to other African countries.
Within the region, we may appear to be doing quite well, but there's more room for improvement. The expectations are that if you want to really integrate Africa, you need to expand trading.
Welcome back to Business Live. Ghana has seen an increase in the export of finished products and commodities from local industries, especially food products, through the efforts of Trillium and other manufacturing firms. This can be attributed to the stable business environment and support from government in the past few years. Chief Marketing Officer Ali Ajame says that the factory has exported more into the West African sub-region. He was speaking to journalists after a facility tour and engagement with the brand ambassador, musician Stonebwoy. Ghana's export to other African markets has recorded some positive results as many industries have been established across the country. The contribution of Trillium Industries to the country's exports cannot be overemphasized. Speaking after taking its brand ambassador, musician Stonebwoy, on a facility tour, Chief Marketing Officer Ali Ajame disclosed that more finished products are being exported. He believes the support from government and a stable economic environment is a factor.
Ghana used to import all these commodities from across the countries. And with the help of Trillium and the efforts they put together and the investment, we are rather exporting to the neighbor countries. All the West African countries today, they are consuming proudly made of Ghana. Wow. Yes. We dropped the importation of these commodities almost 60%, and we are rather exporting 20% of our products. So thank you so much for coming, and thanks for this partnership.
Ajame also used the opportunity to explain the new environmental sustainability initiative undertaken by the company to improve standards.
We have ETP. This ETP, it cost us more than 3 million Ghana cedi. The task of this ETP to make sure to manage every waste this factory drop and put outside. It turns it to a usable water. Our neighbors, they can use this good water again for watering their plants and for whatsoever. So even what Stonebwoy has mentioned, I didn't mention before, the recycling part as well is very important. Thank you, Stonebwoy. Thanks for your vision and thanks for the love. Thank you so much.
Trillium Industries also used the occasion to announce the wife of musician Stonebwoy, Dr. Louisa, as brand ambassador for its Verna mineral water brand. Meantime, industries are insisting that Ghana needs to do more despite new data suggesting strong pickup in exports to other countries in Africa. The 2023 Afreximbank trade report showed that Ghana commanded more than 5% of intra-Africa trade. This was one of the highest to be achieved on the continent. Tonam Akpelo is Greater Accra Regional Chairman of the Association of Ghana Industries. He spoke to Joy Business on the sidelines of the Afreximbank annual meetings in Nassau, the Bahamas.
Within the region, we may appear to be doing quite well, but there's more room for improvement. The expectations are that if you want to really integrate Africa, you need to expand trading. Ghana being the leader, because we have the headquarters and we are at the forefront of most of these conversations, it's important for us to do more. The Ghanaian business is normally very resilient. The Ghanaian businesses are people you can trust. The SME space is thriving. In fact, over 80% of all employments in Ghana are in the informal and the SME space. That tells you that a lot is happening. What we need to do now is to deepen the work of the SMEs to allow them to have access to international market. But this can't be talk. There has to be a more systemic and structural approach to making sure that we have this happen. 3 things. Number 1, e-payments. We need to make sure that they are able to do the transaction with a payment mechanism that is less expensive. The charges that we see when you do international payments are too high. It's not helping. So we need to look at that. The second thing is e-commerce. Fortunately, there are a lot of e-commerce platforms these days. But we want to see an e-commerce environment that is accessible, that is friendly, that is transaction friendly for even the smallest of the businesses. And those are what we're working on. The third...
And you see these things as some of the major hedges in our quest to do the intra-Africa trade, especially when it comes to Ghanaian business.
Exactly my point. So what I'm saying is that when all said and done, we need to focus on these 3 things to make sure that we promote intra-Africa trade and even trade beyond the continent. And that's why I mentioned payments, because it's very crucial, and also e-commerce, and then finally delivery, that's the logistics. Because when Auntie Muni, who is selling shea butter in Tamale, needs to sell her shea butter in Nairobi, it is important for her to have a safe mechanism to have a product delivered in a manner that is not too costly. So this is really what we're talking about, and we want to see a lot of effort, not only from the Ghanaian government, but from all the African governments, so that we can collaborate together and make it happen.
Well, finally tonight, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST, has entered into a partnership with the Project Management Institute Ghana for enhanced teaching and learning of project management as a program of study from the undergraduate to master's level. This is to bridge the existing gap between academia and industry to make KNUST students globally competitive after school. Here's more in this report. Management Institute PMI, a recent survey has revealed that governments are losing about $100 million of every $1 billion project due to unprofessional and unethical practices of executioners of projects. The Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST, is the latest and second to enter into partnership with Project Management Institute Ghana to promote the learning of project management at the tertiary level. President of the institute, Frank Osa Samoa, noted that project management as a professional program of study at the tertiary educational level has come in handy to assure both governments and private project owners of value for their investments.
Ghana would want to take advantage of this, and the chapter is propagating the good news of the science and management of project management, so that students, as long as project professionals, will have the technical know-how and the skills to be able to manage projects while saving this country and organizations this amount of money that usually goes to waste. So it is against this background that we decided as a chapter and the largest professional body in Ghana in terms of project, program, and portfolio management, that it is the collaboration between industry and academia that would help us reverse this trend and rather make these monies become value, real value that are created for the citizenry and the customers and clients of the various organizations.
The Vice Chancellor of KNUST, Professor Rita Dixon, who signed on behalf of the school, expressed confidence that the partnership will enhance teaching and learning of project management.
We are very, very appreciative of this journey that we want to start with by signing this MOU. And on our side as a university, I just want to assure you that we are, first of all, very ready. We have the expertise. We are committed. We are dedicated. We are available to work and work with your institute on this journey. And ultimately, the focus and the aim and the objective is just one. We want to improve the quality of life of the people that we serve. Fundamentally, that is what we seek to achieve.
The partnership will help move both parties to close the academia-industry gap. And that's Business Live. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business, including Africans must own the logistics and shipping space. That's according to Executive Chair of Magdan Group, myjoyonline.com/business. Goodbye.